So Mike, tell me, what does Invisaflects do?
Well, Invisaflects is a thermal coating. Basically, it's a radiant barrier. It's very similar to using something reflective like aluminum, nickel, gold. All those materials are all reflective to infrared heat. It's a coating though, and inside the coating are microspheres that have infrared reflectivity. It does actually reflect ultraviolet light and visible light as well. The difference though between Invisaflects and ordinary roof coating is that most roof coatings only reflect heat because of their color. Invisaflects continues to work even when it's soiled, dirty, covered with smoke and ash from the semi-trailer. And we have proof of that over the long term, that the savings doesn't go away. It continues to work, year in and year out, even without being washed. So that's a huge difference, because obviously not very many people are getting on top of a refrigeration trailer with a garden hose and trying to wash it down or take it through a washer, every week. The very first trailer that we ever coated went through a massive hailstorm, and it actually totaled out the trailer and the truck. But the driver of that trailer, I just spoke to him like about 3 days ago, and his one comment that really stuck with me was he said, "That trailer looks exactly like the day you coated it, with the exception of all the dents that were created by the hail. The hailstones pulverized it, but the coating looks exactly the same, and it never came off," which is incredible considering the force of hailstones and what it would normally do to, like, say, a regular, architectural roof, with shingles and stuff like that. But this is a metal roof with just our coating, and that coating never came off in the middle of a terrible hailstorm.
So how can Invisaflects help me?
Well, it helps in several ways. Obviously, it's going to save a lot of money on fuel. You're going to lower your fuel costs every month we'd estimate between $500 and $700 a month, depending on the company and the cost that you're paying, per gallon. The second thing is that you're adding another level of insurance, so to speak, to your cargo. So you're hauling something, and I'll just give you an example. We did a trailer for one of the largest, if not the largest, convenience store chains here in America, and their trailer that was uncoated couldn't get down past -11. Ours was able to get down to -20. It wasn't even really that hot of a day. It was 85 degrees and partly cloudy, and the other trailer just couldn't even get down to -20, whereas ours was able to do that, and to do it pretty easily, because we were reflecting all that heat that would normally load up on the roof and end up causing the inside compartment to gain heat.
So what's my ROI on an Invisaflects
Well,
application?
return on investment in some cases as low as like 5 or 6 months. It's shockingly fast.
To make my money back.
Yeah, to get your money back, it's literally that fast. It all depends on the company and how often they're running the unit, and basically, if they're running these things at really low temperatures, we're going to obviously achieve more savings than somebody who was running the unit at, say, they're trying to keep it at 75 and they're just hauling dog food, but somebody who's like trying to haul ice cream, somebody who's hauling, even stuff at 35, we're going to save them an awful lot. The return on investment is going to be extremely fast, and we guarantee a return on investment of 12 months. So if you can't save your investment inside 12 months, we'll make up the difference.
You'll pay me the difference.
Literally pay you the difference. And you have to show us, obviously, mathematical proof that you weren't able to save it. But we find out, or we have found, that once people coat the trailer and they see, like, for instance, just the cool down time on the trailer, there's really not a whole lot of discussion anymore. It just kind of becomes
that much more efficient.
It's that much more efficient. People see it immediately. The first time that it takes twice as long to refuel your reefer tank, you're saving a ton of money. You used to fill up your reefer tank every 3 days, and now it takes 6. You're saving a lot of money.
Of course. So is it easy to apply? I mean, how long does my truck have to be off the road or my trailer?
It is easy to apply. There is a set of steps that you have to go through to put the product on. It is not complex. It is very simple. Does it take a little bit of time? Yeah. I would say average would be about 4 or 5 hours to put it on. That includes, washing it down and then letting things dry. A lot of times we'll use a leaf blower to make things dry faster.
Sure.
We've on the ones that we've done for other companies, we have invested in a nice sander that we can stand up and sand the roof. But you don't have to have that. I mean, literally, quite literally, if you wanted to, you could sand it by hand. But who would want to do that?
Sure.
So.
And you said it's pretty durable, but how long does it last?
Well, we give you a 5-year warranty, but I would challenge anybody to even try to get it off. After 5 years. I mean, it's just it kind of like it seems like it ends up. Similar to concrete.
Okay.
when it sets up, it's very difficult to get off.
So it holds up way better than the paint on the trailer.
Yeah, you're really going to be challenged to get it off once you get it on.
Okay.
So
the savings compound every month. I mean, every year.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that if somebody were to take the savings from the fuel. And spend that, or not spend it, but invest that in other places that had a return on investment. I mean, you're talking about millions of dollars difference over 20 years. Because according to one of the largest, if not the largest ice company that we did a trailer for, their CPA said a trailer should last 20 years. Well, so over the course of 20 years, if you look at a savings of $6,000-$7,000 a year per trailer, and you take that $7,000 and invest that at 10%. I mean, you're talking a lot of money.
Absolutely. So what separates Invisaflects from other coatings?
Well, Invisaflects is what you would call it's a technology. It's not just a color. Most of the roof coatings out there are just using really high levels of titanium dioxide to achieve a really white surface. We all know white will reflect better than, say, beige or tan, gray, whatever.
Any darker color.
Any darker color in white is going to obviously attract more heat. So what these other roof coatings have as a problem, though, is that once they get dirty, they don't reflect heat anymore, at least not as much as they used to.
Makes sense.
With our product, it's kind of subterraneous. It's literally below the surface. So we've got these microspheres that are made from certain materials, and the microspheres are what's actually reflecting the infrared heat. And so even if you were to coat over the top of them with, say, another paint product of some sort, you would still have heat reflection because the microspheres are the workhorse of the product. That's what's really doing the reflection. And sadly, there's a lot of imposters and bad players in this market. There's some other companies out there that have been tested and have been found to be just absolute frauds, and it's unfortunate because we're in that same market and have players that are unscrupulous. But once you look into Invisaflects and the ratings, the people that have used it, we don't have a single complaint on our product. It's nowhere to be found. You can look all over; you're not going to find one. The product is it's rock solid. And it's been used now for a decade, and tens of thousands of customers, have used the product, and the results have been just, phenomenal. So
very good. So how much do I have to invest to have Invisaflects on my trailer?
Well, the company has made available an interest-free financing package. So let's just say that the payment would be probably in the neighborhood of, say, $175, but it's interest-free. There's no interest, so you're not paying anything to use somebody else's money. So you have a $175 investment a month, and then right here you have a $700 savings per month or $500 savings per month, whatever it is. Let's say it's only $250 a month. And just be really stupid and say, it's only saving $250 a month.
But you're making your investment.
You're literally saving more than you're spending every month from the very first month. And so when you start talking about ROI, I mean, literally, if you're getting a savings in excess of what you're spending, you're cash flow positive the very first month, ROI, I mean, seriously.
Can be through the roof.
Yeah.
So this is the effect that it can have on just one trailer is $500-$700 a month, perhaps more.
Yeah.
Imagine a fleet of 20 trailers.
Yeah. So when
50
you get
trailers.
into the people that have 100 trailers, and you start looking at $70,000 a month in savings, and close to $800,000-$900,000 a year. I mean, it's really stupid not to do this.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to procrastinate when you're going to be saving $1 million a year.
Absolutely.
Because on anybody's scale, $1 million is still a lot of money.
And after the first year, your investment is paid back. You're even further in the green.
Correct. And every year thereafter, you're just pocketing money that you didn't have before. And one thing that we haven't talked about is the equipment usage, and these units that cool whether it's the Thermo King or the Carrier or whatever, these units are not cheap to repair, and so we're running these things at 40-50% less time than they were before. So we're by definition we're going to have 40 to 50% less maintenance on these units, which turns out to be an awful lot of money as well, on top of the diesel savings.
Fuel savings.
Yeah. I mean, downtime too. I mean, you have to think about, it's not just the cost of, you having to spend money to repair the unit, but you literally have lost that unit for, say, a week while sitting in the repair shop as well,
of course.
Which logistically can screw things up for a lot of companies. Say you only got 10 trailers, and you've got all these orders that are piled up there, and this one unit goes down. You're running on 9 trailers. You really got all the business for 10. You're losing. There's a large opportunity cost.
Yeah, absolutely. You can keep your opportunity costs low, keep your maintenance costs lower, save fuel, and not to mention, you save fuel. It's better for the environment.
Well, yeah, and so here's the numbers on what we can do for the environment, and I feel very strongly about this because I've been in the energy conservation field now for an awful long time. So I think it's been 13 years now that I've been in the energy conservation business. And when you look at the fact that a gallon of diesel fuel is 21 pounds of carbon, and we're cutting the emissions on, say, from 20 gallons a day down to 10 gallons a day, that's 210 gallons a day. I'm sorry, 210 pounds a day, I misspoke, of carbon that we're stopping. Us, over 1,400 pounds a week. We've got a calculator that we can do the math for different trailers, but you have 1,400 pounds a week for one trailer. Holy mackerel, and take that times a fleet of 100. Now we're up to 14,000 pounds. It's a huge amount.
Diesel prices are at a high now too.
14,000. I'm sorry, I misspoke. That would be 140,000 pounds. I think.
Yeah. That's a lot of.
Diesel prices, from what I can tell, diesel prices are not going to be going down anytime soon.
No.
We have an administration that is trying to price natural gas and diesel, all fossil fuel products. They're trying to get it as high priced as possible to discourage the use of it. The only thing is that most of the infrastructure that we currently have is still dependent on those fossil fuels.
Absolutely.
And the migration over to the more greener fuels is coming. It takes time. You can't convert 3 million refrigeration trailers in a day. And God knows I've made investments, and I own part of certain companies that are part of that green revolution, to move refrigeration units onto a green platform. And I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, we need to make steps like this with Invisaflects that can curb the amount of emissions and save money and do good things without a large capital investment. Because this is not a large capital investment for any company. In fact, it's deceivingly small. I mean, I think that some companies, because the investment is so small, they have a hard time swallowing the fact that it's saving so much money. But we're not trying to price Invisaflects at a level to where only big guys can handle it. We want the mom and pop trucker that's got 2 trailers or 3 trailers to be able to afford this, and we want everybody to be able to benefit from it, not just the big guys.